NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bengals and the Seahawks, and it's coming up next.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s.
Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks.
Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for Seattle.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Burrow voids the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now it's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He finds his man complete. That's Morgan. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. Here's Burrow.
Able to find Higgins.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
Touchdown! It's complete.
Joe Burrow spotting T. Higgins for the touchdown there.
And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Bengals score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
This is DJ Reed returning.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
2nd down and 5.
This is Carson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 49 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Burrow. Flush to his right. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. A big play there on the scramble. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Burrow looking to pass. Here's Higgins out on the right side. That catch good for only a couple. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes this a 14-8 ball game. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Oh, none of that.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Darrell Taylor.
The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you got someone to tackle him.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll boost their lead to 9. It's 17-8.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Here's McPherson now to send it away.
Here's Reed returning.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his 3rd of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On the move to his left. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Bengals will get the football back. So certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Burrow will throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Open man is Uzoma. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A draw play for Mixon. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. He completes it to Boyd.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone.
Let's go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Again, Wilson steps away to his left. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Make it happen.
So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these 2 coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this 2nd half for sure. But for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gott.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. Brandon Wilson to return it. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And he's found the end zone twice. The Bengals drive about to get going. Mixon will get it to start the 2nd half. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Burrow. Airing one out for Boyd. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. L.J. Collier in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They run it with Carson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Well, it's not time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Wilson on first down.
That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He hits his target, Lockett. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Wilson going to throw for it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there, pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's a 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
They'll try and run for it with Penny, and that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So that will wipe the 6 off the scoreboard.
You talk about dampening a celebration. That's a touchdown pass that's going to be called back because of the penalty.
1st down. Here's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Benson Mayowa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. Dancing to his left. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That's pulled in at the 32. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Well, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.